Bum 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 bum. Hi, I'm Audrey.
And I'm Lauren.
Welcome back to
PagesOfElizas.
Today, we come to you with a review of one of the most anticipated books of 2016. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So this book picks up, I thought what was really cool was it picked up right where Deathly Hallows left off.
I love that.
So like you're reading all the lines that are at the end of Deathly Hallows.
For this. I've been wanting to like find out what happened like right after that for so long.
Yeah,
that this is
everyone
perfect.
has. Come on.
Yeah.
So it follows primarily Harry's son Albus and Draco's son Scorpius, and let's just say that Scorpius Malfoy is a blessed angel from heaven.
Is my nerdy child.
He is my nerdy love child.
Him
I don't
so
even know. He's
love
so
child.
so why is a love child? I was like love, comma, child, or like semicolon.
I love him so much.
He's so precious because I was ready for like
another Draco.
I was like devil in disguise.
Like Draco.
He's gonna be like super savvy and like cool. Albus goes, my name is Albus. Hi Scorpius. I mean, I'm Scorpius. You're Albus. I'm Scorpius. Okay, so where to even begin? Let's start with Delphi.
I was suspicious of her the whole time. So
I actually wasn't. The only reason I was slightly suspicious of her was because
she just came out of nowhere. Like,
well, when they were doing Albus and Scorpius did a lot of really rash things, and I was like, this woman is like 22 years old and is not stopping these 14-year-olds from ruining everything.
I know.
What?
I didn't understand that, like, how she worked together with them so well, but she was like older than them.
Exactly.
And also,
she definitely was.
Albus had a
interesting
thing for her.
No, shut up. I don't want to talk about it. So all the Albus and Delphi stuff was just wrong
I was
and
like,
weird.
She is 10 years older than you. What is your problem?
She's like minimum 10 years older than you.
I was like, Albus, settle down.
So anyways, Delphi is the daughter of Voldemort and Bellatrix.
Okay, I was suspicious of her.
Weird,
I knew that she was like weirder, like she had something about her, but I did not expect her to be the daughter of Voldemort.
So
I was like,
when everyone kept saying, when Harry's scars started hurting again, everyone was like, Voldemort's back. I was like, please, God, no.
I know, same.
Because
I was like,
the Voldemort storyline is over. It's over.
How is this happening?
So then everyone was like, oh, Scorpius is Voldemort's son. And actually, you know who I was suspicious of when they started talking about who Voldemort's offspring was?
Who?
Albus.
Albus is
I was suspicious of Albus Potter.
Albus
I thought he was gonna be the Voldemort spawn.
What was up with Albus? He just needed to take a chill pill.
That's why I thought he was
all
gonna
the
be the Voldemort spawn. He was really angsty. Oh, let's talk about the scene. Everyone knows the scene, am I right? The scene where Albus and Harry are fighting, right? And Harry and Albus says, sometimes I wish you weren't my dad. And I was like, well, that's fair, because if my dad was Harry Potter, I would probably wish he wasn't my dad sometimes too. That's a lot of pressure to put on a 14-year-old.
I wish my dad was Harry Potter.
Yeah, but what if your dad, like, that's a lot of pressure. Like, knowing your dad saved the world and you have to live up to that. Also, he's named after Dumbledore.
Yeah, that's true.
And Snape.
And Snape.
He has a lot of pressure on this poor small child. So I was like, okay, Albus is justified. He can say that. I mean, it's
I was
rude,
still mad though.
but he shouldn't have said it. But you know, it makes sense. But then what really set me off was Harry James Potter's response, which was, sometimes I wish you were my son. And I was
that
like,
is so.
What?
That was not even Harry Potter.
No,
that is not. That is the proof that J.K. Rowling did not write this.
Yeah.
So that makes no sense. That
it was just, he was very annoying in this book, and he treated the really powerful women in his life with such disrespect. He was like sassing McGonagall, he was rude to Ginny, he was rude to Hermione, and I was like, Harry James Potter, I'm gonna smack you up the head.
This is not the Harry
I was not happy with him. He was being very terrible. And everyone's like, well, he's a dad now, so he's changed and he's stressed out. And I'm like, was having to kill the Dark Lord when he was 16 not stressful enough? That is as most stressed out as you're ever gonna be in your life.
I can understand
You'll
why he'd be
never
stressed.
be this stressed
I can
out.
understand why he'd be stressed from like work and stuff because he was like had this really powerful position, but he still shouldn't treat people like that.
He
I
treated
get it.
strangers better than he treated his family and
Yeah,
friends.
true. Like Amos.
Okay.
Amos Diggory.
Freaking Amos Diggory, I hate him. He ruined everything.
I know.
He was the whole freaking reason everything went wrong in this book.
True.
Can we talk about time turners for a second?
They
They found
so cool.
another time turner.
That was so cool. Okay.
What?
My favorite part of the book was when Scorpius went back in time and Voldemort was ruling.
Oh, that was so cool.
And Hermione and Snape and Ron were the only good people left, and Hermione was so oh my gosh.
She was so cool. She was running like an underground rebel
She was
club.
like the most
Oh my
wanted criminal of the world, of
It was
the magic
super
world.
intense. And it was so cute because Ron still obviously had like a massive crush on her.
Okay.
Snape had a really good line in that scene. Okay, this is so funny. So Hermione's like, what does Snape do in the other world? And Snape goes, I'm dead, presumably. You were a little too surprised to see me. How? Scorpius goes, bravely. And Snape goes, who? And Scorpius says, Voldemort. And Snape goes, how very irritating. And I was like, that is such a Professor Snape response.
I love how he
to
wasn't
that.
even like upset.
He was just like, that's irritating.
that's expected. That was
but annoying. It's like, Snape. Good old Snape. Except for I kind of hate
the
Snape.
Dementors.
But, you know.
I cried when
Ron stayed behind.
When Ron and Hermione kissed,
died together. Can we talk about Umbridge as the professor, as the headmaster of Hogwarts in this parallel universe?
And she's like, what the heck is happening?
Oh my gosh. I actually was more upset when Umbridge was alive than I was when Harry's scar started hurting again. Because his scar was hurting and I was like, oh, Voldemort's back, stupid storyline.
Well,
but then Umbridge is back and I was like, no!
Well, people actually,
Not today, Umbridge!
Well, people actually hate Umbridge more than Voldemort.
Everyone hates Umbridge more than Voldemort!
She's so annoying!
She is the worst!
I was like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Girl!
Girl! And Hermione was like, oh my gosh, we have to keep this safe, like no one can see it ever. And then somehow Albus finds out about it. And Albus decides to go back in time and save Cedric Diggory from dying because he's like, my dad has let too many people die.
It's
which
so
is true.
dumb.
But also
he
stupid.
had no
He had
no control over that.
So
He had no control over that.
I know.
Voldemort did all that.
So Albus and Scorpius go back in time and they like save Cedric, but then they come to
Everything
this
changes.
alternate universe where Hermione works at Hogwarts. She's the potions professor. And Ron is married to Padma Patil. Ron's like super weird and still like
has no
obviously
jokes.
is in love with Hermione.
And he's like
Obvious.
boring and he has no jokes.
I know.
And
It's so sad. And then Albus and Scorpius are like no longer speaking to each other because Albus is in Gryffindor in this parallel universe, so they're not allowed to like talk.
It was so weird to see how everything like changed every time.
I
And then they had to
know.
keep going back and like change what they already did and
You know what the saddest part in the whole book was though?
what?
Very end.
Oh.
They go to Godric's Hollow because Albus and I want to tell it because Albus and Scorpius got stuck in time with Delphi because she broke the time turners, but Draco also had a time turner that he was keeping on the DL. So they went back in time to Godric's Hollow, 1981 Halloween, and because they knew that's where Delphi was going to go to meet her father and stop him from killing Harry, and it was so heartbreaking because one way or another they defeated Delphi, and I don't like Harry dressed up as Voldemort. It was weird. So they defeat Delphi, and she's like out of the picture now. And they're standing in the church, like across the street from Harry's house when he was a baby, and he watches Voldemort go into the house, and he's like, "There's nothing I can do." And Draco's like, "No, you can do something, but you shouldn't." And it's just so
He has to
painful.
watch them die
He stands there and he's holding Albus on one side and he's holding Ginny on the other. And he hears his father yelling to Lily to leave the house. And he hears James fall on the ground.
killed
He
me.
hears Lily fall on the ground. And it's just so...
It killed
I
me.
literally was ugly
Killed
crying.
me.
That, I really love James and Lily. Like, I am like the one in a million person who loves James more than Snape. I love James Potter, okay? And I love Lily Potter, okay? And so having to watch them die with their adult son watching and knowing he could stop it but he shouldn't was so heartbreaking. Oh, it was the worst.
But then at the end, Alice and Harry were just like, we'll get through this. We'll like bond and we'll like
father-son
recreate
bonding.
our new relationship.
It was I thought the ending was a little bit unsatisfying.
Yeah, they just like said, they just apologized and we're just like,
okay. That's it. That was it. There was no like reconciliation of their relationship, if they ever really had a relationship, let's be honest.
Yeah, I had the feels the whole entire
I did have a lot of problems with this book though.
The whole time.
Called Harry James Potter. Was my problem with this book. We could go on forever. As you can see after all of our rambling and ranting, this book definitely had its cons, but it also definitely had its pros.
And
called
it's just
Scorpius Malfoy. He was the pro.
It's just beautiful.
He was the pro. It was beautiful. It was really good. It was a really easy read. Really fun. I had an absolutely great time reading
me
it.
too.
It was still really, really good. Didn't love it. Didn't hate it.
I loved it.
I didn't love it. It was okay. It was pretty good, but not.
I loved it.
You know. Should you read this book?
You should.
I think you should.
Just because there's so many questions. There were so many questions at the end of that book.
A lot of stuff answered
movie,
and like healed.
Tied into a nice little knot.
It did. It definitely like polished off Deathly Hallows in like a really awesome way. Kind of was like an extended epilogue. I do have to say it reads a lot like fan fiction. So I definitely think you should go into this book with no expectations.
I didn't have any.
Don't have any expectations.
So I loved it still.
So of course a lot has changed and they've grown a lot. So of course they're not the exact same 17-year-olds that you are going to remember. But yeah, definitely just go into it with an open mind. Characters are different, plots are different. It's gonna surprise you, but it's a good read.
Yeah.
You probably won't love it. You
really
probably
easy.
won't hate it.
You'll probably read it. Took me like one day.
Oh yeah, I read it
so
in like
easy.
6 hours. It's real easy. Yeah, definitely go ahead and read it.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. I would give it 3 out of 5 stars.
I would give it 4 out of 5.
Cool.
Yeah. Comment down below if you have read this book and want to rant, or if you just want some more reassurance that it's worth your time. Give it a big thumbs up because Curse a Child, because it's Harry Potter.
It's Harry Potter.
And we post videos every Wednesday and every Saturday, so looking forward to that next one. And make sure to subscribe.
The link is somewhere on this page.
Somewhere.
Find
so
it.
subscribe
Click.
if you want to see more videos of us just
talking about books.
Yep. So I'm Lauren.
I'm Audrey. And keep on reading.